$14 million. That's the estimated value of Chief Keef's California mansion today, complete with luxury cars, a private studio, and mountain views. What makes it shocking is that just over a decade ago, he was on house arrest in his grandmother's living room on Chicago's South Side with no label, no money, and no clear future. Born Keith Cozart in 1995, he grew up in Parkway Gardens, better known as O Block, one of Chicago's toughest neighborhoods. Raised mainly by his grandmother, Margaret Carter, he found music early, recording himself at just 5 years old on borrowed tapes while dreaming beyond the streets around him. But O Block came with pressure, and by 16, legal troubles placed him under house arrest. For most teenagers, that would have ended the story. For Chief Keef, it started one. Trapped at home, he transformed his grandmother's living room into a studio and filmed I Don't Like, a raw video with no budget, no industry support, and no polished image. That authenticity exploded online. Produced by Young Chop, the track introduced a darker sound that divided opinions but demanded attention. Then everything changed. Kanye West heard the record, recognized its potential, and released a remix featuring Big Sean, Pusha T, and Jadakiss. Overnight, Chief Keef became one of the hottest young artists in America. Labels rushed to sign him, triggering a bidding war that ended with a multi-million-dollar deal from Interscope Records, along with support for Glory Boys Entertainment. Months earlier, he was filming videos in a small living room. Now he was signing life-changing contracts. His debut album, Finally Rich, pushed drill music onto the global stage and turned local hits into worldwide anthems. The money arrived, the lifestyle changed, and the dream became reality. But here's the part most people overlook. Chicago created the star, while California helped build the empire, and that's where the story becomes even crazier. This is where Chief Keef's story takes a dramatic turn. One of the first things he did after securing his Interscope Records deal was rent a massive 6,000 square foot mansion in Highland Park, Illinois. For a teenager who had grown up in O Block, the upgrade felt unreal: 6 bedrooms, luxury amenities, and views of Lake Michigan. But the dream didn't last. By 2014, reports claimed he had fallen tens of thousands of dollars behind on rent, and eviction notices followed. Most artists would have disappeared from the spotlight after a public setback like that. Chief Keef did the opposite. He posted a simple message, "Sky is the limit," and announced he was moving to California. No excuses, no public apology, just a bold reset that shocked critics and fans alike. Looking back, that move may have changed everything. He settled in the San Fernando Valley, far from the chaos that defined his early years. Quiet streets, gated properties, mountain views, and celebrity neighbors replaced the environment he came from. More importantly, it gave him space to focus on building long-term wealth instead of simply surviving. And before we go further, make sure you're subscribed, because the next part reveals the mansion, the cars, and the business empire that most people never see. At the center of it all sits the crown jewel of Chief Keef's California lifestyle, a property valued at up to $14 million. This isn't just a house, it's a statement. Located in one of Los Angeles' most exclusive areas, the estate offers privacy most people can only dream about. Behind the gates sits more than 5,000 square feet of living space, featuring multiple bedrooms, luxury finishes, and a design that instantly signals success. The first thing visitors notice is the massive front yard and working fountain, a detail that feels almost unbelievable considering where Chief Keef started. For someone raised in public housing, owning a property like this represents a level of success few could have imagined. Inside, the home is equally impressive. High ceilings, spacious living areas, premium furnishings, and a modern kitchen create an atmosphere that feels more like a private resort than a residence. But the real difference lies in what the mansion allows him to do. Built into the property is a professional recording studio, giving Chief Keef the freedom to create music whenever inspiration strikes without relying on outside facilities. What looks like luxury is also a business investment. The property reportedly includes an arcade packed with classic and modern machines, along with entertainment spaces designed around the lifestyle he once could only dream about. There's also a home theater, game room, wine cellar, sauna, swimming pool, jacuzzi, outdoor lounge areas, and even a basketball court. Every part of the estate reflects the same message. The kid who once recorded songs in his grandmother's living room didn't just escape his circumstances, he built an empire. And what's even crazier is that the mansion is only one piece of the fortune Chief Keef has quietly assembled over the years. The backyard alone feels like a private resort, stretching beneath California's mountain views with a pool, entertainment spaces, and more room than many city apartments. That contrast is what makes Chief Keef's story so remarkable. He came from O Block, but he built a life that looks nothing like where he started. And after a frightening 2018 incident, he made sure that success stayed protected. Two suspects reportedly attempted to break into his Tarzana property while he was home, and the situation escalated when a shot was fired at responding officers. Nobody was injured, but the event became a wake-up call. Security across his California properties was tightened, turning his Los Angeles footprint into a fortress. But as impressive as the real estate is, the garage might be even more shocking. This is where Chief Keef's wealth becomes impossible to ignore. One of the most talked about vehicles in his collection is a custom Lamborghini Urus, redesigned with a unique Scooby-Doo theme that exploded across social media. The SUV already carries a massive price tag, but the custom build transformed it into a rolling marketing campaign that generated attention worldwide. Then there's the Lamborghini SVJ, one of the rarest and most aggressive supercars on the road. With extreme performance and limited production numbers, it represents a level of exclusivity most people never experience. The collection also includes a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a luxury SUV designed to deliver comfort, prestige, and complete privacy, along with a Ferrari SF90, one of the most technologically advanced performance cars ever produced. Add a Mercedes-AMG G63 and a high-powered Dodge Challenger Red-Eye, and suddenly the picture becomes clear. This garage isn't built around one style. It covers luxury, performance, muscle, and exotic engineering all at once. Earlier in his career, the collection reportedly featured additional Ferraris, Bentleys, Audis, and other high-end vehicles, with the lineup evolving over time. Altogether, the value of the fleet reaches into the millions. But for Chief Keef, these cars represent more than money. Every vehicle tells part of the story. Every photo, video, and public appearance reinforces the image he spent years building. For a kid who once borrowed blank tapes just to record his voice, owning some of the world's most desirable machines is more than a flex, it's proof of how far he came. And here's where the story gets even more surprising. Despite the mansion, the cars, and the lifestyle, estimates of Chief Keef's net worth have varied over the years. Legal expenses, business decisions, and the unpredictable nature of the music industry have all played a role. But the numbers themselves aren't the most interesting part. The real question is how he continues funding an empire this expensive, and the answer surprises almost everyone. What keeps Chief Keef's empire running isn't just fame, it's infrastructure. Reports suggest he earns anywhere from tens of thousands of dollars per show, meaning a busy month on the road can generate more income than many people see in years. Feature verses are another major revenue stream, with artists reportedly willing to pay premium rates for his involvement. And that says a lot. More than a decade into his career, Chief Keef's name still carries weight. Not because of hype, but because his influence helped shape an entire generation of hip-hop. Beyond performances, the real power comes from ownership. Through Glow Gang, he expanded beyond music into merchandise and branding, while 43B gave him greater control over his releases and business decisions. That ownership matters. When you control your catalog, your music continues working long after it's released. Songs like Love Sosa, I Don't Like, and several other fan favorites have accumulated massive streaming numbers over the years, creating a steady flow of royalties that never truly stops. Whether he's actively recording or not, the catalog keeps generating revenue. Brand partnerships add another layer, with companies eager to tap into an artist whose influence remains visible across modern rap culture. But here's the part many people overlook. Maintaining this level of success is expensive. A multi-million-dollar California estate comes with significant taxes, security costs, maintenance, utilities, and constant upkeep. After the attempted break-in at his property, security reportedly became an even bigger priority. Then there's the car collection. Owning vehicles like a Lamborghini SVJ, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Ferrari SF90, and other high-end exotics means dealing with insurance, specialized maintenance, and repair costs that can quickly climb into serious territory. These aren't cars serviced at ordinary garages. Every part of the lifestyle carries a price tag. On top of that, Chief Keef has a large family and has faced financial obligations that have periodically affected estimates of his overall net worth. That's one reason why reported figures often fluctuate despite the income he continues generating. Yet the bigger picture remains impressive. Instead of relying on a single source of revenue, he built multiple streams: music, touring, merchandise, features, business ownership, partnerships, and investments, all feeding the same operation. That diversification is what separates temporary wealth from something more lasting. And the success doesn't stop there. Over the years, Chief Keef's jewelry collection has become almost as famous as his music. Custom chains, diamond-encrusted pendants, and signature Glow Gang pieces have grown into symbols of how far he's come. To outsiders, they might look like luxury accessories. To him, they represent milestones. Every piece tells part of the story. Every chain marks another level reached. The contrast is impossible to ignore. The kid who once recorded songs in a modest Chicago home now lives behind gates in Woodland Hills, surrounded by mountains, exotic cars, and a private studio only steps from his bedroom. And that convenience may be the ultimate luxury of all. When inspiration strikes at 2 in the morning, Chief Keef doesn't have to travel anywhere. He simply walks down the hall and gets back to work. More than a decade after changing hip-hop, Chief Keef is still creating. The release of Almighty, so too, proved that the momentum never disappeared. While many artists from his era faded away, his influence only grew stronger. New generations of rappers continue to cite Chief Keef as a major inspiration, not just for his music, but for his delivery, independence, and refusal to follow industry rules. His style has been copied so often that it evolved from influence into a core part of modern rap itself. What started as Glow Gang became something much bigger than a label or a brand. For many fans, it became a culture, an identity, and a symbol of independence. That kind of influence creates a form of value that can't be measured on a balance sheet, but becomes obvious whenever his name enters the conversation. As we move through 2025 and into 2026, the story becomes even more impressive. Chief Keef is only 30 years old, yet he has already lived through more career highs and lows than most artists experience in a lifetime. He went viral as a teenager, helped redefine hip-hop with Finally Rich, survived major label politics, public controversies, legal issues, financial setbacks, and countless predictions that his career was finished. But every time people counted him out, he kept building. That resilience is one of the biggest reasons his empire still stands today. The California chapter became the turning point. Away from the chaos of his early years, he focused on ownership, business, and long-term wealth. The Woodland Hills and Tarzana area became the center of that transformation. Not because of street influence, but because of property ownership, business growth, and financial stability. Unlike many artists who spend fortunes chasing appearances, Chief Keef quietly built assets. His real estate holdings have appreciated significantly over time, adding genuine wealth rather than simply funding a lifestyle. Add in a collection of exotic cars, a catalog that generates royalties around the clock, a label he controls, a merchandise brand with a loyal audience, and touring revenue that continues to produce major paydays, and the picture becomes clear. This isn't just success, it's infrastructure. It's an empire designed to keep generating value long after a hit song leaves the charts. That's why Chief Keef's legacy goes beyond music. Yes, he created iconic records. Yes, he earned millions. But his biggest achievement may be the blueprint he left behind. He showed an entire generation that talent, authenticity, and persistence could overcome circumstances that seemed impossible to escape. The kid who once recorded on borrowed tapes in O-Block eventually built a multi-million-dollar lifestyle in California, complete with luxury properties, exotic cars, business ownership, and one of the most influential catalogs in modern rap. He became a millionaire before most people finish school. He built wealth before most people start their careers. And perhaps the craziest part is that the industry is still feeling the impact of what he started. That's the real story, not just the hits, not just the headlines, but the empire. Built piece by piece, year after year, through music, business, ownership, and vision. And judging by the way Chief Keef continues to move, it feels like the next chapter may be even bigger than the last. If you enjoyed this story, check out the next video to see how other rappers turned street beginnings into real estate portfolios, business empires, and generational wealth that stretches far beyond music.